Hello, everybody. We're going to begin. I guess now we can begin. Today we're going to mostly be talking about the launch of subspaces. And I'll hand it over to Buffer as he can talk to that.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
Okay, great. So we are ready for the launch of subspaces on mainnet alpha. So we will be testing it for a little bit just to make sure everything is working perfectly. There's a new version of spaces available on the subspaces branch, which is already activated on mainnet alpha. So if you want to test on mainnet alpha, you could now. And there's also a new resolver and a new relay network called cert relay, um, which it has been published, so you could check it out. So how it works is that people could deploy cert relay nodes similar to how Fabric used to work. But the main difference is that this works over HTTP and instead of the DHT. So it works in browsers and it has a better latency and it's more usable than what Fabric used to be. So now the main thing that is called Fabric is the client that is the client resolver that traverses this cert relay network to fetch your records. And as for the subspace issuance, we have the subs client. We have built a UI for it, and we will publish that today so that you could experiment with operating a space on mainnet alpha. But I recommend using like low value spaces for now if you want to experiment with this because it's still a testing period. So we want to make sure everything works perfectly, and just to be safe, create a new wallet for the mainnet alpha stuff if you want to test this. And in a few hours, we will have a website updated for spacesprotocol.org. It will have new documentation for um, how to resolve spaces, and there will be clients in 7 languages already published on various package managers, and there will be documentation for that. Um, it should be very easy, like in a few lines of code, you could resolve spaces in any language. Um, and also, we created an initial faucet for the um, for at key to experiment with spaces. So there are right now 100 million names, subspaces issued um, on at key, and you could get a free handle from the spacesprotocol.org to like play with spaces, update records, and do stuff like that, just so that to create like a simple way to onboard people. So you could open the documentation, grab a test handle, and then use that to set records, resolve, verify, and do all of this stuff. And we will also be publishing the Veritas app today, which is a desktop app that essentially acts as your trust anchor. So it calculates the summary of the entire protocol and it creates a small trust ID that you could scan. And then any Fabric resolver that you use in any language could use that trust anchor to verify that the resolution that you get from the Fabric network is correct so that you could verify in a trustless way. Um, so yeah, I guess that's most of it. There's probably more stuff that you will see in the documentation too, but I think this about wraps it up. and we will test this on mainnet alpha, I think for about like 2 weeks or so, uh, just to see how it goes. And if things work perfectly, then we only need to update Nacho, and we will have a new Akron release coming soon to support buying and selling subspaces, and with the new spaces version. So yeah, I think that's the main update. So in a few hours, you'll see we'll make an announcement on the Telegram group. You'll see the new website, and you could find a way to play with it while it's on mainnet alpha. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
So if anyone has questions or wants to chime in, I think I made it so that anyone can speak. You don't have to be a speaker. I may be wrong, or the setting might not have taken effect.
Yo. Hey, I saw it. So you just hit join as speaker and unmute.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'm in. What's up, guys? All right, that's cool news. So what's mainnet alpha? That's not Bitcoin mainnet.
Oh, it's real Bitcoin, real money. It's directly on Bitcoin. We're just saying mainnet alpha so that we're basically saying that it's possible still to make any last protocol changes while it's on mainnet alpha. So it's more like a consensus thing. But someone could disagree and says, yeah, the subspaces start now, and then they could define that as the start block height for spaces on mainnet, and we may actually never change it. So this could be like the activation height, and we would never have to change it. But we're just being careful and to make sure everything's working perfectly. So that's why we're calling it mainnet. So it's on mainnet, but still during alpha testing.
Okay, and we shouldn't use our same wallet. We should just make a new wallet, send a space or two to it if we want to mess around with it.
Yes, but just you have to remember that you're using real Bitcoin for this. But I mean, this is much better than testing on testnet 4 because it's very unusable right now. Like a transaction could take 2 days to get mined. It's very annoying. So uh, doing it on mainnet alpha is better. Of course, we have like a test suite that tests all of this stuff on rig test, but having like some test period on mainnet alpha on the real network is a very good way to make sure the design works well.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna run it like this for a couple weeks. Then if you have to make a change or something, it will be on a different branch, is what you're saying. Otherwise, we're just gonna roll right into it, and it's gonna start today.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, most likely we're gonna just roll with it as is, but we're just keeping it just in case we need to change anything. So that's why we're calling it mainnet alpha for now.
Okay, that's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. Now, that website that you showed, that little teaser of in the Telegram, it had like a black background compared to the spacesprotocol.org white background. Is that a totally different web address that we can get to, or is that just going to be on the main spacesprotocol.org website?
Oh, I think you're talking about the subs tool.
Yeah.
That black UI. So yeah, so this tool is the main tool that operators use to issue subspaces. So they would need to connect like a prover, and this is the tool that's designed to issue like millions of handles, and that's what operators would have to deal with. But of course, not everyone need to operate their space themselves. So they could delegate it to a registry. For example, Impervious is going to run a service that could operate a space for you in a trustless way. So in the new space CLI, you could do like delegate at your space to impervious Bitcoin address. And that does not give them um, ownership of your handle. It just gives them permission to submit batches of handles and issue handles on your behalf. And you could revoke this at any time. So yeah, so this is like a different mode of operation. Of course, if someone wants to operate their space themselves, they could do that. But yeah, so that's what the tool is for. It's for operators to operate a space reliably, and it makes sure that uh, it tries to make you not try to do things by hand. So it takes care of all the hard stuff to make sure operating a space is a smooth and easy process.
All right, how do we get to that tool? Is it a website? Is it an application that we have to download? Is it a mobile app? And is it
Oh no,
free?
it's a GitHub repo. So right now, the old version, we will announce the new version with the announcement that we will make today. But if you open the Spaces protocol GitHub, you should see it. It's called Subs, and it's completely open source.
Sweet. All right, that's great. That sounds good. Yeah, it looks cool. So I'm excited to try that out.
Awesome, yeah.
All right, and I guess I'll just ask a general question about any feedback that you guys are receiving, speaking to people. I know we have Andrew's going to be doing the Bitcoin 2026 conference. He's going to be doing that workshop on Spaces Protocol, which is huge. Any plans to do anything, any connection, any company maybe integrating Spaces into, or just any news along those lines?
We haven't. Yeah, not really. I mean, we've just been focusing on getting the subspaces out, and then once we do that, then it's we'll start focusing more on that stuff.
Okay. And one of the things though, so I see Buffer's putting out this or talking about this code like that. So is that one of the goals of you guys with Spaces Protocol, where it could easily be integrated into tools and websites and other people's applications?
Yeah, that's what we've been working so hard on, is that in most platforms, on any language that you use, whether it's on mobile or desktop or even embedded devices at some point, you will have a way to resolve spaces in just a few lines of code and integrate it in your app. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for developers to integrate spaces and removing as much friction. So yeah, all the libraries will be out there. There's, I think, very good documentation as well that we will publish in a few hours in the announcement. So yeah, I think developers are very important to get spaces mainstream.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Initially, when I heard the 7 different languages, I'm thinking like, all right, English, Spanish, German. But then I'm like, no, it's not that. All right, that's cool, man.
We should have languages too in the documentation, so you could switch. Like in the website, when you open it and you try to read documentation, maybe we should have documentation in other languages too. That should be very easy to do with AI today. So I guess we'll we'll do that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I don't know, but I can imagine that it's hard to build this and create a protocol from scratch. So, congratulations to you guys. You've come a long way. I'm sure it took a ton of work, and you're putting in all this work. You're making it available in different programming languages. You're making the tools easier for everybody to use. It's all open source. I think it's a great thing. It's a needed thing. We need decentralized naming, and hopefully it gets picked up. Andrew and I were out here making these videos. We're trying to get some sort of traction with it. So we really believe in it. I know you guys really believe in it. So hopefully we can get some people, some eyes on it. It really only takes one person to pick it up, or one website to start using it, maybe a Noster website, and it could just balloon from there.
Yeah, I agree. I think like making a very solid protocol is half the battle. So I think our focus, like once we get it in good shape and get it on mainnet, we should really try to like get it really out there, like talk about it, do tech events like what Andrew's doing, make tutorials, all of this stuff to get it really out there. And yeah, and if some like clients or even developers like it and then they integrate it in their app, then their users could use the spaces, and then that's how it grows.
Yeah, definitely. Now, one thing I had a question or another question about, I heard you mention HTTP and we're going to be using that. So is that some sort of, we're going to reduce security maybe perhaps? We're going to use HTTP for ease of use, convenience. Can you explain that one a little further, please?
No, so HTTP is just a protocol. It's decentralized. So so anyone could run a node, but and it's a peer-to-peer network, and it's a peer-to-peer network over HTTP, which is kind of unusual, but it fits our model perfectly. For example, Nostr uses WebSockets, and WebSockets work in the browser, and that's how you could even resolve Nostr events, like get Nostr events directly in the browser. And I think HTTP is the future. Like most of DNS traffic today doesn't use UDP. Chrome upgrades you to DOH by default, uh, which uses HTTP if your internet service provider supports it. Uh, like Firefox uh, enables DNS resolution over HTTP by default. Um, when you deploy cert relays, you could use basic HTTP caching. You could use CDNs. Um, it's HTTP is everywhere, and I think that's the best way to make spaces easily resolvable, like everywhere. And the cert relay network itself is decentralized, so anyone could run a cert relay, and you could discover other peers, and then they will find you, and you could help the network by storing certificates and records for people. So it's essentially the same way that uh, Bitcoin's mempool works, or how Lightning, they have their own network. It's all permissionless because we don't trust the cert relay servers. Um, we assume that the data that they serve could be garbage, it could be malicious, it doesn't matter. The Fabric client that you use to resolve um, handles from all the cert relays that you find is all verified against your local trust anchor. So it's completely trustless and decentralized.
Okay, so maybe that's what I'm thinking. So with the HTTP, HTTPS, that you're trusting someone else to sign those transactions, the traffic, someone else's keys. Is that true? But in this case, we might be using that protocol, HTTP, but we're signing with our own keys.
Exactly, yeah. It doesn't matter if you run a cert relay on HTTP or HTTPS. We don't recognize the DNS's certificate authorities. Like we don't care about them. But if you make your cert relay available over HTTPS, then at least if you run a Fabric client inside the browser, it could resolve space handles. The browser will verify that the certificate authority is valid and all of that, but it doesn't matter. We don't care about this verification. What we only care about is really just pitching like the certificate and the data to verify against our own trust anchor. So we don't care about HTTPS in that sense, but it's useful just to make it resolvable in the browser.
I see. Okay, so that's what Spaces Protocol is then, though. So how would you describe Spaces Protocol? It's a Bitcoin certificate authority.
Yeah, I think that's the most accurate description of Spaces protocol, but maybe it's not the most accessible one to, because most people don't understand what a certificate authority is. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's the accurate technical term for what Spaces is.
Okay, yeah, I really don't understand what it is either. I'm learning as I go, so trying to piece it together. Hopefully, I can be a bridge between the super technical folks like you, Buffer, and then somebody that might not know anything like me, and I can kind of piece that together and put it in layman's terms. So that's awesome. Thank you guys for all your work.
Thanks.
So, Buffer, Mike, great work on all that you've done to get us here to this day. I know a lot of us have been waiting patiently and with a lot of anticipation, and it's looking good. I just wanted to echo what Jason said. We really appreciate all the hard work going on here, and I'm looking forward to talking about this later this month in Vegas. So if anyone's going to be there and wants to touch base with me, let's just reach out. You can reach me at andrew@lunde.com, lunde.com. The couple things I was questioning about, you mentioned that the subs client will be updated today, later.
Yeah, that's correct. So today we'll get the website with the documentation, all the 6 or 7 clients, and the subs tool, and yeah, basically everything. So you could, and I already like created the transactions to issue the 100 million subspaces that we use for the website.
Mhm.
So yeah, so you could get some test handles to use, test your, I think you said you've built a record editor as well for the SIP7.
Yeah.
There is a, yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's cool to have like multiple implementations. There is one in the Spaces website as well. So yeah,
Yeah, I noticed the CLI has parameters for specifying various types of attributes.
okay, awesome. And I think you'd be like the perfect person to test
Mhm.
the new subs because you've been digging in this stuff for a while. So you
Yeah.
will know how to use it, and let me know if you have any feedback during this period.
Sure.
Yeah.
In my little previewing of it, I did attempt at making doing some other space delegations from another wallet, and is that working at this time, or is because the subs now ties to a wallet for performing certain operations like the commit operation, for sure. Right. So is delegated top level spaces should be working now?
Yes, that's correct. So when you launch subs, it should create a new wallet, and then you could fund it. And then from other wallets, you could call operate command to operate a new space, and then you could uh, delegate it to the subs wallet so that you could start issuing subs.
Mhm. Is it key that the subs create the wallet, or there's a param to pass the wallet in?
So you could so internally it uses the space D. So you could import a wallet if you want, or just create a default one when you
Okay.
first launch the subs. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I didn't know if there was a key difference there. And maybe things have been changed, and I'll find that it's all working now. So, but yeah, no, that's looking good. There's can you talk a little bit about how the prover is kind of separated out now as a service?
Yeah. So the prover is a separate binary now, and you could launch it, and it will start an HTTP endpoint. And then when you launch subs, you could configure the prover so that when subs creates a commitment that needs a proof, it will submit it to the prover. And once the proof is done, it will pull it from the prover and then update the status in the commitment pipeline. Um, and then you could continue to do this. And like, so there's like a flow of like, first you stage certificates, stage handles. So let's say you're trying to register Alice at Bitcoin. Initially, you could stage it, and then you get an immediate temporary certificate that you could publish to the relay network. And then you could commit locally, which commits all the changes to the tree. And then it gets to the proving stage, which will pull all of the stage handles and prove them in the prover. And then once the prover is done, you could make the commitment on chain and then publish the final certificates to the cert relay. So that's how the flow goes in the new subs.
Mm-hmm. And just to be clear there, there's publishing of the after the proof has been completed and you have a new root hash, the commitment of that on chain is not sufficient for the get commitment to be finalized. It's now there's a day waiting period between the last commit that was issued and 24 hours, or the first one on a, well, I don't know exactly what
So
the interpretation is.
So like at the core protocol side, it will only allow you to make one commitment every 144 blocks. So if you try to make another commitment within that period, it will override the previous commitment. And after the 144 blocks, it will get finalized. And this 1 day period is just to make sure so that if you commit a root and for some reason that root was corrupted, you can't really prove something on top of it, you could roll it back. And also, if you're delegating your space to an operator and you don't trust them and you expect them to give you the tree back every time they make a commitment, then they could pull your commitment if you make a mistake. They could roll it back and then revoke your delegation and then give it to another operator that they trust. So,
Mhm.
so that's the reason for the 144 block window, is to make delegating your space to an operator trustless. If you're willing to verify that they made the right commitment and the right proof.
I see. It gives you a window to kind of validate that they're behaving the way you expect them to.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. And it's just, again, to be clear, it's 144 blocks after the last commit that's seen on chain. It resets that day clock.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the subs right now makes you wait 150 blocks before submitting another commitment, just to like make sure if there's like a reorg that happens in Bitcoin or something,
Mhm.
doesn't mess up any state. It just tries to be as conservative as possible so that you
Mhm.
don't break your space.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and this affects, I guess, the timing to communicate any subspace that you may have like issued or sold to the person that bought it. It's like that the commitment, the finalized commitment will take about a day before it'll be finalized. Okay.
Yeah, like as far as end users are concerned, they could interact with Cert Relay directly to see if their final certificate has been published,
Mhm.
and all the 6 or 7 Fabric clients, you could export your certificate directly from the Cert Relays, and Nacho will do this for you. So it will check if your certificate got finalized, and it will pull it and have a copy locally, just in case the operator is unavailable or um,
Right.
yeah.
All right. Very good. You mentioned also the Veritas app and the no the oh, I'm not sorry, not Veritas. The Nacho and the Akron will be updated. Is well, I guess another thing is anyone doing this on mainnet, you want to make sure you get the latest of the subspaces branch and build that reindex, or at least continue indexing on that new version of the code. But in the Nacho client, is that going to continue operating as we know it? I haven't. I think they pulled the website down a while back.
So is Nacho.io not working right now? Oh, interesting.
I checked it. Maybe it may be back up. I hadn't checked it today.
No, yeah, it's still not working. Yeah, Nacho will get an update in about a week or so. But yeah, it will be mostly like simplified, and it will just get the new updates and have Fabric integrated, and like so that you could pull the certificates from the new Cert Relay and that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it looks very good. That's I'll, like I said, pull and take a look at it and kind of see where it goes from there. Just got an email that my presentation has to be submitted by the 20th, so this gives me a little bit of time to get kind of the flow figured out with the timing of things. So yeah, it should be good. I myself talked to, there's a conference in September called I think the Midwest Blockchain Summit or something like that. That's in Columbus. Might be a good target. Also, of course, in Atlanta, the TabConf in October is a great opportunity there. But I fully believe we'll have more media outreach and sort of opportunities prior to that for sure. That's what I've got today. Unless you want to, how are you going to manage the @Bitcoin? Have you thought through that?
So not sure if Mike wants to talk about this as well. But right now we have like some people have reserved names on @Bitcoin, and I guess it will be operated once the impervious registry is live and Nacho is ready. But we're not like testing with @Bitcoin, of course, during the mainnet alpha period. So probably people who have reserved an @Bitcoin name will get it in about 2 weeks or so. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, it's tied to the launch of the impervious registry.
Great. Okay. Thanks so much for everything.
Thanks. Anybody else? I think anyone can start talking if they, I don't know, you might have to click a button or something, but everybody should have access to speak if they want to say anything or have any questions.
Well, if no one else has a question, I just want to say thanks again for all you guys' hard work. It's been a long road, and look forward to the next phase of this.
Thanks. Okay, I guess we'll end the call there. Thanks, everyone.
See you guys. Bye.
Thanks, guys.